All right, here are some of the tools that you're going to need um, to troubleshoot and repair air conditioners. This is just a few of the stuff that you'll need. So for example, here you'll want some wire strippers. You can pick these up at Lowe's, Home Depot. Um, 1/4 inch and 5/16 nut drivers. These are the two most common sizes. These here I like because they're very, real long. You can get into, deep areas. They've got magnetized tips on them so you can hold a screw. So these are real nice. If you can't find them at Lowe's, Home Depot, maybe online somewhere. But next item you need is a multimeter. Now you can purchase like the one I have here. This is the a clamp that you would clamp over a wire to test for amperages. Now you can buy some meters that have the attachment for that, but I just prefer to have everything all in one. You'll need various wrenches, socket sets, things like that. Needle nose pliers, they come in handy for hard to reach wires. This here is, you'll only need this for testing variable speed motors, constant torque motors on the blower, on the furnace. The majority of the stuff that you'll see is probably multi-speed motors, which you'll use your meter here to diagnose and troubleshoot. But in the rare occasion that you would have a variable speed or constant torque blower motor, this comes in real handy to diagnose that motor very quickly. So along with, other small hand tools like screwdrivers, you'll need just a variety of common hand tools. But the thing we'll be using most is the multimeter here. So this is going to help in the majority of your troubleshooting, diagnosing. So this is your main guy right here. Um, Now with that, I would recommend getting a multimeter that has these different settings. So for example, this here you'd use to measure voltage and amperage. These two here, this horseshoe looking thing, that's where you would read resistance. That's the symbol for ohms. So you'd be taking resistance readings with these two. This one has a noise that will sound off for continuity and stuff like that. So, but they're the same thing. This one just has a noise added to it. This here would be for checking capacitance in microfarads on your different capacitors for the blower, for the compressor, condenser fan motor. So you'll be using this setting to test those. And this one is not related to air conditioning, but if you're going to buy a meter, I would recommend you buy with microamps. And with microamps, you'd be testing the flame sensor on your furnace. Now, I'll be coming out with a furnace course towards the winter. But yeah, just if you buy one, just buy one with that as well, so that you can test your furnace when it comes time to troubleshooting that. Now these are specialty items. You probably won't be using these. These you would use if you had an EPA certification to work with Freon. So in other words, if let's say, for example, a compressor burns out, um, these tools would be used to, number one, recover the Freon. So you would hook up your gauges to the condenser and hook up a hose from the recovery machine to the recovery tank, and you'll be sucking out all that Freon via this machine here, and you'll pump it into this tank here. And then you would do your repair. You would cut out the compressor, for example. You would use the torch kit to braze it in. And then at that point, you would use what's called a vacuum pump. You'd hook that up to the condenser. And what that's going to do is suck all the air out, all the moisture, and just remove all those contaminants, because moisture is very deadly to air conditioner. So you got to have this pump to suck out all the air and all the moisture in the lines, in the refrigerant lines the condenser, the evaporator coil, and so forth. So, like I said, you won't be using these until you get your EPA certification. And towards the end of the course, I'm going to go ahead and tell you where you can go and get that, get certified to where you'll be able to buy refrigerant, recover refrigerant, work with the refrigerant side of the air conditioning system. But the majority of the stuff would be simple repairs that you'd be doing, and you'd be using your multimeter to diagnose those things. So you probably, like I said, the majority of the stuff that you'd be doing would be just the simple stuff. When it comes to the bigger things, these can get quite expensive, and without the certification, you'd probably have to call a company out anyway to do major repairs. So there we have it for just some of the tools that you'd be using out in the field, and we'll go ahead and move on and continue with the course.